So as a generator, what's the strategy? Wait. It doesn't say wait up the top, but it's wait and respond. Now remember, the strategy comes out of the function. It doesn't matter whether you're a manifesting generator or a generator. Your strategy is to wait and respond. Respond to what? To what is happening. The strategy for a generator is to wait and respond to what is happening. And your function is to put energy into the world, to build things, to reproduce, to put consistent life force energy into the world in a very specific way. So how do you know you've got a decision to make? You have to wait to know if you've got a decision to make. What are you waiting on? You're not waiting on other people. You're not waiting on yourself. You're waiting on life to give you something that you need to respond to. Manifestors wait on themselves, projectors wait on the other, generators wait on life, reflectors wait on the environment. The moon cycle. We all wait.
It's like sleep. You know, if you don't sleep, you miss too much sleep. Eventually you're going to fall down and your body's going to cave in on you because you're designed in such a way as to require sleep. You know, it's very important for so many reasons that we already know. In the same way, when you're awake and you're living in the daylight hours or the awake hours, where throughout those awake hours you require to make decisions, you're in waiting mode as well, because you're renewing the energy that you specifically require at the moment of making decisions, because it takes energy to make decisions.
You know what? You have just heard the best example of the nature of waiting I have ever heard. That is awesome, because that's exactly what's comparing waiting to your need for sleep is the best example of how important waiting is that I have ever come across anywhere.
And depending on your output, like if you're going to have a big physical day tomorrow, you know it's going to be very physically demanding. Like, for example, you know, Chris and me, we wake up at, you know, with the sparrows to do this webinar because of the time here in Thailand. Now, it might not be the sparrows for you, but it's the sparrows for me because I like to sleep in. But anyway, I'll wake up early. So it's a good thing for me to go to bed early the night before the webinar, because I know that if I don't go to bed early, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to feel the lethargy that kicks in from not having enough sleep.
Yeah.
And in my waking hours, going through life, if I'm constantly living in my not self, then I'm going to feel the need to make more decisions than I need to, most likely.
Yep.
And I'm going to overtax my system, and I'm going to start making clumsy decisions, bad, poor decisions that are not in my best interests. In the same way that if I get to a webinar and I've not had too much sleep, it may not put me at my best and maximize my opportunities.
This is how, I mean, this is what I live for as someone who's sharing and teaching and human design. When someone you know, it's like anybody who's got some level of mastery. When they have a person who's technically a student and the student surpasses them and just goes and gives the best example ever, it's just like, yes.
I have my
that was a moment. That was an incredible moment. I mean, this is how practical human design is. That is the best metaphor for what waiting is about. It takes all the, why do I have to wait, anxiety and drama out of it. You know, you wait because it's natural to wait. It's natural for you as a generator to wait upon life because you are a very specific expression of life. There is no other expression of life force energy than the unique expression of you as a unique generator. because not all generators are the same. They've got different channels, different gates. They've all got the sacral center switched on, but it's defined, which means each one of us as generators are a very defined, specific aspect and facet of life itself. And life goes, I need to express this aspect. But then it goes the great courtesy of asking us, is this right for you? It doesn't impose its will on us. Life goes, here's an option. Is this right for you? That to me is one of the best expressions of the fact that life is conscious. It's consciously having a conversation with itself as us. It's consciously respecting who we are as individuals because we're a part of it and it is what we come from. And there's this exchange of like, here's a possibility. And often we open ourselves to those possibilities or close ourselves to them by how our beliefs and our attitudes and our thoughts and feelings and, you know, just our whole mindset can close us off to possibilities or open us up. But that life always goes, here's a possibility, tell me whether this is right for you. And that's you making the decision. When life comes to you and says, engages you, then you have a decision to make. But why do you wait? Even before that, you wait so that you slow down, in most cases, occasionally speed up. You get in touch with the pace that life is going rather than the pace your mind is going at. That's why you wait. Because if you're going to respond to what is happening, you have to be in touch with what is happening. That's why generators wait. Now, the funny thing is there's always something happening. Even if there's nothing happening, you're breathing.
Well, referring back to your football game, when the players are running around on the field, you know, it's often, if you're looking at it on TV and you get they pan back and you can see the entire field, you've got the whole field, everybody's running. Everybody's moving.
In motion.
But only one guy's got the ball. And from that guy, some other person's going to get the ball, and it's not going to be the person that's in the wrong position. Otherwise, you can't throw the ball to that guy or kick the ball to that person. So you've got to move through life, call it waiting if you like. You're waiting for the ball to be passed to you when it's appropriate for the ball to be passed to you.
And if the quarterback looks at you, pulls the ball, and you've got this great big guy coming bearing down on you, you go, no, don't throw me the ball. You know, my only hope is if you throw it to him and he might divert from me and go running over him. But these are really simple examples of what it's like. What I love about this webinar is it's framing waiting as though, why wouldn't you?
Well, it's active participation. It's not sitting around wondering what to do next. It's energizing yourself, making sure you're in the right position so that when the ball comes your way, you're ready to go for it.
It's not running around in your mind either.
Sure.
It's actually getting, in a sense, some space from your mind so your mind can do its thing. And getting in touch. Every now and then when I'm talking about this with clients and that, I just stop as I'm talking and I look, just as I am now, I look around the room. And rather than just go with what I think we're talking about at the moment, I just look around the room and go, what's happening? And I know the shoes over in the corner and various things. I become aware, I become in the present, in touch with life as it's happening. You know, call it be here now or whatever. It's not just splenic. It's just being conscious in the moment. It's being aware of what's happening. That's the place you need to be at if you're going to live as a generator. Now, it doesn't mean you make decisions instantly, but it does mean that you know pretty much straight away when there's a decision to be made. Because something's actually happening that's engaging you and requiring a response. If something's not engaging you, requiring a response, there's no decision to make. It's not that there's nothing happening. You know, if someone doesn't post something in the webinar, a question,
There's nothing to answer.
there's nothing to answer.